The Netherlands. The very name conjures images of vibrant tulip fields, charming canals, and picturesque windmills. A nation renowned for its liberal outlook, progressive policies, and idyllic lifestyle. Tourists flock to Amsterdam, mesmerized by its artistic heritage and laid-back atmosphere. But beneath this glossy veneer lies a hidden reality. A reality where societal issues fester, casting a shadow over the nation's carefully curated facade. The Netherlands boasts one of the highest standards of living in the world, yet, a growing number of its citizens struggle to make ends meet. The cost of living, particularly housing, has skyrocketed, leaving many struggling to keep a roof over their heads. Food banks, once a rarity, are now a lifeline for an increasing number of Dutch families. The gap between the haves and have-nots is widening, creating a sense of unease in a nation that prides itself on equality. The Netherlands has long been lauded for its tolerant and inclusive society. However, beneath the surface, issues of discrimination persist. Racial profiling by law enforcement, discrimination in housing and employment, and hate speech directed at minority groups paint a different picture. The Netherlands, often perceived as a haven of peace and tranquility, is grappling with a surge in organized crime. Drug trafficking has gained a foothold, casting a long shadow over the nation. For many, owning a home in the Netherlands has become an elusive dream. The housing market, particularly in urban areas, is plagued by soaring prices and a shortage of affordable options. Young people find themselves priced out of the market, forced to choose between exorbitant rents and long waiting lists for social housing. The dream of homeownership, once a cornerstone of Dutch society, is fading for many. Even in smaller towns and rural areas, finding affordable accommodation is becoming increasingly difficult. Families are forced to make difficult choices, often sacrificing living space and amenities to keep a roof over their heads. The stress and uncertainty of finding suitable housing take a toll on individuals, families, and communities. The shortage of affordable housing has a ripple effect on society. It exacerbates inequality, making it harder for low-income families to improve their living standards. The Dutch government is under increasing pressure to address the housing crisis and provide affordable options for its citizens. Addressing this crisis is crucial for ensuring the well-being of Dutch citizens and the long-term stability of the nation. The Netherlands, often associated with tulips and windmills, has a darker side: organized crime. Drug trafficking has taken root in the country, casting a long shadow over its cities and towns. Criminal gangs, often with international connections, exploit the Netherlands' strategic location and well-developed infrastructure to traffic drugs throughout Europe. The rise of organized crime has brought with it a surge in violence. Shootings, often in broad daylight, have become increasingly common in major cities. Innocent bystanders have been caught in the crossfire, leaving communities living in fear. The brutality of these criminal gangs has shocked many who once considered the Netherlands a safe and peaceful nation. The Dutch government is engaged in a constant battle against organized crime. Law enforcement agencies are working tirelessly to dismantle criminal networks and bring those responsible for violence to justice. However, the criminal underworld is constantly adapting, finding new ways to operate and evade capture. The presence of organized crime has a corrosive effect on society. Section 4. The stain of discrimination, inequality in the land of tolerance. The Netherlands prides itself on its tolerance and multicultural society. However, beneath the surface, discrimination persists. People from minority ethnic backgrounds often face prejudice and exclusion in various aspects of life, from employment and housing to education and law enforcement. Despite efforts to combat discrimination, it remains a persistent problem. Racial profiling by law enforcement is a contentious issue in the Netherlands. People from minority groups report being stopped and searched more frequently than their white counterparts, often without reasonable suspicion. This practice fuels mistrust in the police and creates a sense of alienation among those targeted. The Dutch government has implemented policies to promote equality and combat discrimination. Creating a truly inclusive society requires ongoing effort and a commitment to challenging discriminatory attitudes and behaviors. Section 5. The drug trade's insidious reach, from coffee shops to criminal networks. The Netherlands has long been known for its tolerant approach to soft drugs, with cannabis sold openly in licensed coffee shops. However, this policy has inadvertently created a complex and challenging situation. While coffee shops are intended to regulate and control the sale of cannabis, They exist in a gray area that is vulnerable to exploitation by criminal organizations. The criminal underworld has infiltrated the cannabis industry, using coffee shops as a front for illegal activities. They supply coffee shops with cannabis from illicit sources, undermining the regulated market and generating vast profits. This intertwining of the legal and illegal drug trade creates a breeding ground for organized crime. The Netherlands' tolerant drug policies have also made it a hub for the production and trafficking of harder drugs, such as cocaine and ecstasy. The Dutch government faces a delicate balancing act. It must address the unintended consequences of this policy, such as the involvement of organized crime and the trafficking of harder drugs. Section 6. A call for action, breaking the silence and seeking solutions. The Netherlands, despite its image as a progressive and idyllic nation, faces a complex web of social and criminal challenges. From the housing crisis and organized crime to discrimination and the unintended consequences of its drug policies, the country must confront these issues head-on. Ignoring them will only allow them to fester and grow, threatening the fabric of Dutch society. Addressing these challenges requires a multifaceted approach. The government must take concrete steps to address the housing crisis, making affordable housing accessible to all citizens. Law enforcement agencies need the resources and support to effectively combat organized crime and disrupt the drug trade. And perhaps most importantly, there needs to be a societal shift towards greater inclusivity and equality, challenging discrimination wherever it arises. The first step towards change is awareness. The Netherlands cannot afford to rest on its laurels, ignoring the issues that plague its society. Open and honest dialogue about these challenges is crucial. Section 7. Beyond the tulips and windmills. Facing the complex reality of the Netherlands. The Netherlands is a nation of contrasts. It is a country that embodies both progress and struggle, tolerance and discrimination, beauty and brutality. While the world marvels at its picturesque canals and iconic windmills, it is essential to look beyond the surface and acknowledge the complex realities that exist beneath. The Netherlands, like all nations, faces its own unique set of challenges. The issues discussed in this essay, the housing crisis, organized crime, discrimination, and the drug trade, are complex and interconnected. They require nuanced solutions and a willingness to engage in difficult conversations. Ignoring these issues or downplaying their significance is not an option. The Netherlands must confront its challenges head-on, drawing on its tradition of innovation and social progress to find solutions. The journey may be long and arduous, but the destination, a truly inclusive and progressive Netherlands, is one worth striving for.